Hey guys, Thunder E here, and yes, Huawei has finally announced the Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro. Yes, the latest devices from Huawei, and they are both powered by the Kirin 970 processor, the latest processor from Huawei. It's an octa-core processor, 12-core GPU, and a brand new NPU, which is a neural processing unit. Now, Huawei says this will help enhance the device to do a lot of tasks without tasking your CPU, and it should go a long way. But before we get into all that, technical stuff, let's talk about the devices we have in hand, the Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro. So what is the difference here between both devices? So start with the Mate 10. Mate 10 is a 5.9-inch LCD display device. Aspect ratio is 16:9. It is a QHD display, so it's a 2K display here that you have with this device. Powered by the Kirin 970 processor. It's got 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage, micro SD expandable, and it is a dual SIM device, which is pretty great. Now it's got a 4,000 milliamp battery. Yes, a massive battery in this bad boy, which is fantastic. And what you also have here with this thing is that Huawei also has given us fast charging here. So you've got up to 58% in about 30 minutes of charge. So that's about 2300 milliamps. That's a lot of juice in such a short time. There is no wireless charging. But if you look at the design of this device, it's got a glass back and front, really nice. You've got that band aesthetic at the back, where of course you see the Leica cameras there. You've got a dual camera setup. One is a 12 megapixel RGB camera lens, f-stop 1.6. The other is a 20 megapixel mono camera lens, f-stop 1.6. You've got OIS on the 12 megapixel camera lens. Now, front-facing camera is an 8 megapixel f-stop of 2.0, which is pretty cool. Now, in terms of other features that you'll find on this device here, this also has, of course, your Bluetooth audio codecs. You've got aptX HD, and LDAC, so you've got all the high-res audio codecs supported. It's still got a 3.5mm jack, and this is also a Cat16 device in terms of LTE, so you've got gigabit LTE on the device itself, which is pretty cool. Now, there is a fingerprint sensor on the front of the device, as you can see clearly, and that is the Mate 10. Now, what's the Mate 10 Pro? The Mate 10 Pro is a 6-inch AMOLED QHD display. Aspect ratio is 18:9. It's a different aspect ratio, thinner bezels on this device. And because of that, the fingerprint sensor has been moved to the back of the device. That's where the fingerprint sensor is. The camera, of course, is still the same. You've got that 12, that 20, f-stop of 1.6 as you would expect there. So it's the same camera sensors, and of course, and same camera in the front with a 8 megapixel camera. It still has a 4,000 milliamp battery on the Mate 10 Pro on this device, but it's missing something. It's missing a headphone jack. So everything is, all your audio, we're going through USB Type-C headphone audio, which I am bummed about. That's just me, headphone wall. But you still have your Bluetooth audio codecs for high-res audio, aptX HD, and LDAC built into the device. It is IP67 rated, so it's dust and water resistant for the Mate 10 Pro, and it's got Cat18. So basically, it's gigabit LTE, but speeds at 1.2 gigabits per second, which is really nice. It's still got that curved back look. So when you look at both devices, in terms of design, they look really nice, and also those QHD displays really showcase what you get with both the Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro, which is very, very nice there. But let's go back to what you can do with that camera and the neural processor. This is where the neural processor comes in. So the new camera has a really cool option where as you look at an object, it identifies the object, and it basically automatically gets the settings right for you to take the best picture. You don't have to do anything, you just have to just raise it up and point. So if you point to a human being like Mr. Jaime Rivera here, you can go ahead and it will show you that's a human being, and you take the photo. If you point it over food, it will recognize it's food. If it's a plant, it recognizes a plant. If it's a dog, it recognizes a dog, and so on and so forth. There are a lot of scenes, and they will, of course, it's gonna learn from those experiences and take the best photos for you. That's what the neural processor is all about, to basically enhance some of those features without you actually doing any of the work. Another feature of the neural processor is the fact that It also does a lot of processing for you offline. Take for instance the Microsoft Translate app, which basically allows you to translate, but to do it offline, the neural processor taps into that, and you can basically go ahead and do your translations by taking the picture, and it will actually do that for you offline or online. Doesn't really matter, but it does that without actually tapping into the cloud, which is a great thing, especially if you're traveling and you don't have a SIM card yet. You can actually go ahead and use those translations. Now, in terms of the software, it's running MUI 8.0 with, of course, Android 8 as well. And it's really smooth, and you can see how it actually just flows using the device pretty quickly here. Now, you do have a few software differences on the Mate 10 Pro. As I mentioned, the fingerprint sensor is at the back. You do have on-screen menus if you want to, but it also has a floating button. Allows you to basically tap to multitask, double tap to go home, back, that kind of stuff you will find there on the Mate 10 Pro. That being said though, it's a very interesting setup that Huawei has here with the 10 and the 10 Pro and what it actually brings and delivers right there. No word on pricing, but it does have one other pretty cool feature. Now, we know how a lot of companies are talking about productivity. With the Mate 10 Pro, you can basically connect it via a USB Type-C cable and a 10 and 10 Pro, sorry, both devices, USB Type-C cable, and then plug it via HDMI, and it basically connects to your TV and basically takes you into work mode. So you can go ahead and have a desktop-like experience, send emails, you know, do work in the office, those kind of things really quickly. And it's a nice thing. You don't have to buy an accessory like a dock. You can also attach a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse to make it actually more efficient for you. So that's something this device can do, and that's something also that taps into the neural processors to basically understand what you're doing. We have to see how all this works, but so far this is looking pretty good. I can't wait to definitely check out the camera on the Mate 10 Pro. I really love what the Mate 9 did. That monochrome camera lens was fantastic. I have to see what they're doing with, of course, the neural processor in here. There is no wireless charging on either devices, we do know that it is also a very slim device for the kind of batteries packed in there. With 4,000 milliamps, it doesn't feel thick or big. It feels like something that's just well designed and well put together. So if you guys have any questions or any comments about the Mate 10 Pro and the Mate 10, let us know. Don't forget to like and share this video, favorite this video, subscribe to the channel, and always enjoy your entertainment.